from Anstruther in Fife in Scotland. Yes.
Wonderful.
That's me.
So I asked this at the start, but what's your earliest memory?
Okay, so I have a bit of a contested earliest memory. It's one of the two, and I don't know which one was before the other. So both are equally quite depressing, which is not fantastic. One is being at playgroup, so about 3 years old, in a village called St Monans, which is one of the coastal villages in Scotland, and I apparently hated it. Like, you didn't enjoy it, so I was moved to playgroup because I was miserable. But I have a memory of being at the top of like a slide, and like crying on the way down in like a sort of dingy
tears.
room. Seriously, but you see, because I've been told that I know, like, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I've actually fabricated that. Might be a fabrication, but
I feel like a lot of people I talk to, their memories are like, I don't know if this happened, but I've told it too many times, and I'm like, I think it is. Yeah.
And the other one is, again, equally sad. It was my cat. Well, it was my mum's cat. He lived with her when she was, in her heyday.
Yeah.
And then moved with her into a married life with a child. And he was called John. John the cat. John the boy.
That's a great name for a
cat.
Good,
isn't it? And so I must have been about 3 when he was taken to be put down at the vets. So my other memory is our front door. I know, typical. It was typical. Front door in our house in St Monans, and John was up against the front door. My mum sort of saying, I think she said something like, "We're gonna say goodbye to John," or something like that. So yeah, I mean, my childhood was really happy.
I was gonna say,
but these memories are a little bit sad, really, aren't they?
So what was Eilidh like as a general child? Hopefully not.
Okay, she wasn't morose.
Depressed.
No,
yeah.
No, absolutely not. No, very happy child.
Yeah.
I had a fab childhood, like, really just fantastic. My folks, so I was born in Edinburgh, and my folks lived in Edinburgh, and we moved through to the East Neuk when I was about 3.
Yeah.
Basically because both sets of my grandparents lived through here.
Oh, nice.
So I had a childhood that, I was always had like a grandparent around, or my folks worked part-time, so I didn't have to have childminders and stuff like that. So yeah, very happy childhood at the beach, and it was nice.
What was it like kind of growing up in Fife?
In Fife?
Yeah.
As a young child, it was fab, because it's just beaches and nice things. As a teenager, obviously that changes a little bit, and there's not as much going on. You can't make as much fun at the beach as you once did. But on the whole, a pretty positive experience. Yeah. I remember as a teenager being like, why did you move me to Fife when I was 3? Why did we not live in Edinburgh, please? But,
How do you feel about it now? Do you still find it confining, or?
Well, I live in Dundee at the moment.
Yeah.
So I don't mind coming back in, if that makes sense. I like living in a city, but I like Fife. Fife's nice. It's funny if I've been away for like a couple of weeks or something, I come back and you see the sprawling sea and the coast, and you're like,
I know. Okay it's today. Always the most beautiful thing. You're like, oh, this is great.
Yeah, exactly. Like, even though it's small town, you look pretty nice.
Yeah.
I can't hate you too much.
How do you think growing up where you did shaped who you are? If you think it did.
No, I think it probably did. I don't know. I'm quite a homebody, I guess. I think as a teenager, I was determined that I wasn't going to be that sort of person, if that makes sense. So when I first started looking into universities, I was convinced I was going to go to Glasgow. Yeah. Because I wanted to be involved in the music scene and, art and culture and everything like that. So that was originally I'm going to Glasgow. This is me, age 16 or something. And then at 17 or something, I was like, going to Edinburgh. I want to be in Edinburgh. I want to go back to Edinburgh. And then well, it was a very last minute decision
to
really? Come to St Andrews. Oh. Very last minute, yeah.
How so?
Oh man, well, the story about actually coming to St Andrews is a bit of a bizarre one. It would have been, so we started in the September.
Yeah.
August of that year, I had...
The August before starting?
August before starting. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's quite a mad story. So basically, I'll have to give a teeny bit of context as to why I was where I was at that point. So, I left school in my last year. I had my grades to get me into university, had my unconditional offer for Edinburgh that I had accepted, and I was going to Edinburgh. And then...
For history too?
For history. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Same degree, although obviously it's changed a little bit since I got here. But so everything was sorted. I had a flat sorted and everything. Really? It was all ready to go. And basically that year I started doing music, like performing and writing and recording and stuff like that. And I was also working as a volunteer at the Scottish Fisheries Museum, and basically the two of those were just going really well, so I decided to defer my entry to Edinburgh, and that was all fine. So I did another year of just working a couple of jobs and doing music, doing museum and stuff like that, and it got to the point that I played a festival called Wicker Man in the Borders of Scotland, and I was sitting in the bar of the hotel the night, because oh God, it's just so complicated. I play music with my dad. My dad's my drummer.
That's awesome.
Me and my dad were in this hotel in the Borders of Scotland in the middle of nowhere. And it was just like, Edinburgh's not the right place.
What made you realize it? What about someplace in the Borders?
Yeah, I was just like, I want to be here.
Yeah.
No, I think it was just a case of like, I had quite a good circle at that point in Fife, and I was just comfortable with how everything was going, and it felt like it was progressing. And I knew, or I felt at least, that if I took myself out of that completely, then it might just derail everything. And I just thought, actually, no, this isn't right. It's just not right. And
and then you applied to St Andrews
basically
instead?
Basically. So it was very, very last minute.
That is interesting.
Yeah. I mean, actually, as well, again, another bit of context, my auntie, Mary, she had terminal cancer in that year that I was working as well, and she had died in the January. And again, it was something about...
Is that when you decided? Or when was it that you decided no to Edinburgh?
It was after that. She was from Edinburgh. She lived in Edinburgh. So actually, initially, I'd been really excited to be closer to my aunties and stuff like that in Edinburgh. But it just sort of... I guess it was like one of those mad things. My granddad had died in the November, my auntie died in the January, and it just was
one of those like swirl of years,
Yeah, it was mad. And then it all came down to this one night in August in a hotel in the Borders, and I was like, no, I've done the wrong thing. I need to change this.
How did you go about changing it so, like, late?
It was mad. I basically... explained my circumstances to the university and wondered whether we would consider a really late application
to St Andrews.
To St Andrews, had an interview with admissions and with history and stuff like that. And
who did you interview with in history?
Christine McGladdery.
Oh, okay.
She's fab.
She's
so lovely. So it was I think, it was a really unique set of weird circumstances with two major projects. Bereavement, everything. So I think they were quite open to considering my circumstances, basically. And well, Christine's my hero, because obviously I wouldn't have done this if it wasn't for her. So I hope that she looks back on my academic record and is like, glad we took a punt on her. Do you know what I mean? Like, just
What's made you want to stay on for another year to do your master's in St Andrews?
Combination of things again. Like I say, I think I am more of a homebody than I thought I was or wanted to be.
I found that about myself.
Yeah, well, you're going back, aren't you? So
it's just time to go back.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I totally get that. And, I have a good group of friends here. Well, in Scotland, I wouldn't want to leave Scotland. Yeah. I should say that as a thing. Maybe not ever, but I definitely feel like it's the right place to be at the moment.
Why do you say that?
Well, again, everybody I know and love is here, basically. That's a big part. I just feel like as a country, Scotland kind of just reflects my interests, who I am as a person. I think, the cultural sector is quite, comfortable in Scotland at the moment as well. So I don't see myself going anywhere too soon. Yeah. Basically.
Where would you go if you could go somewhere? Or decided to.
Well, if I could speak a different language.
That's very true. Somewhere
in Europe. I would love to live in somewhere like Italy, but I can't speak Italian. My auntie and my cousin lived in Italy for however long, and they can go in and out of Italian and Scottish conversation. I'm just like,
No matter what you're doing in your life, even if you have a really crappy job, I feel like if you're living in Italy, it's still just like, just you got it made.
This cathedral and I see this altarpiece on my lunch break.
Right? Oh my goodness.
That's not fair. We don't have that in Scotland.
Moving back a little bit, talking about your parents, you said your dad's in your band.
Yes.
So cool. How did they kind of raise you? What is their vibe? And then what kind of characteristics of them do you see in yourself?
Okay. This is a great question. I totally, at this point in my life, view my parents as my friends. Mm-hmm. I absolutely love them. They are fantastic. I actually just had lunch with them. Which was very nice. I'm not just saying this because they bought me lunch.
Yeah.
Both of them, I see both of them in myself. Mm-hmm. I think I am my father's daughter. That is 100% the case. My dad was a musician. That was his thing. Yeah. He fought in the grunge wars in the 90s. Toured with some cool bands. Hung out with cool people. Mm-hmm. And he just so he did that. And then he I think he decided, this is enough. And he wanted to settle down with mum. And, so that was when he was 27 or whatever. And then they had me. So, yeah, I think, for the music thing. Yeah. Totally indoctrinated from, whatever year, minus 3. And, just, music has been such a massive part of my life and we have bonded over music. But I think we have the same sort of, just work and get it done attitude. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? The kind of just, you just got to do it. You just got to, resilience. Yeah. As for my mum is absolutely fab. It sounds ridiculous. I was going to say she's quite a free spirit, but that sounds daft.
No.
She's she is a free spirit. She's lovely and bubbly, and she's just the ultimate diplomat and peacekeeper. Yeah. I would like to be that kind of level of
more of the peacekeeper type person.
Yeah, absolutely. She's the rock of her family and stuff like that. So she's fab. But yeah, so I think I am definitely more like my dad. But I'd like to think there's a bit of my mum in it, of course.
I mean, there's gotta be, so.
Yeah, exactly. Half of me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's them. They're both cool. Me and my friends always joke about the fact that I'm like my parents. My parents are the cool ones and I'm the uncool child. That's quite funny. So yeah, that's kind of I'm the geek child.
Do you have any siblings? Or you? Oh, you do.
I do. Okay. I have one younger brother who is 17 now. So he's at that point where he's making decisions.
Yeah, making moves. Yeah.
So he's just literally yesterday finished his hires, which is the grades and stuff, so they get you into university. So I don't quite know what he wants to do. He's a drummer like my dad, so he's an amazing
Is
drummer.
Your family do you have family jam sessions?
We do sometimes.
Oh, I knew it. I was hoping you'd say it. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, not so much recently because we've all been stupidly busy, but yeah. But yeah, no, my dad obviously plays with me, but one of the last tracks we recorded, my brother played actually the bass and my dad played the drums, my friend played the piano, and it's just it's nice. It's That's good to get everybody involved. It's cool.
Oh my gosh. What kind of older sister are you?
Oh my gosh. should ask you. Well, we actually spoke the other day. We're having a conversation about who in our family scares the other one most. And he said that I scared him the most, and I felt really bad. I think he meant in a like, in
like a respect way.
Yes. Yeah. I think that's what.
Oh yeah, let's interpret it that way.
Maybe ask you in.
Yeah.
But I think that's the case. I mean, like I think he's fantastic. Like he's such a gem of a person, as a human, and I just always want the best for him. So like, help him with his revision if I can and stuff like that. Because I'm just like, come on, you can do it.
Oh, that's so.
But
so nice though.
I'd like to have him play drums with me sometime in the near future. That's
Is
my
that
next project.
Do you like just all play all instruments, or do you have a specific?
Well, I certainly can't play the drums.
Okay.
I'm absolutely rubbish at the drums. No, my dad and my brother and my granddad and his dad were all drummers.
Oh wow!
So it's like quite.
It's like in the blood.
A long line of drummers.
Okay.
And the gene skipped me, unfortunately. No, I play more stringed instruments, so guitar and mandolin and stuff. My mum can play the guitar and stuff like that. So. Oh gosh. Yeah.
Do you want to talk a bit more about your music and like?
Yeah.
What's your band called?
So. Basically, well, I haven't done anything musical for about a year and a half now.
Oh, really?
Well, anything like professionally, in like terms of like properly playing gigs or recording or anything like that. Obviously, I always play my instruments, but my stage name, pseudonym is Lid, Lidh, like the end of my name.
Yeah.
And
it's great.
Thank you. Thank you. But people always mispronounce it, obviously. They're like, it's Lee. And I'm like, no. It's Lid. Like a bin lid.
Yeah. Also a great way to describe it.
Exactly. That's how I do
That'll be like the album. It's like Lid.
Yeah.
Like
a bin lid.
in parentheses.
My friend also suggested that first album should be called Put a Lid on It.
Oh. Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
No.
It was a good suggestion.
When did you start that? Or when did you start actually doing professional music thing? When did it turn from like a hobby into something more?
Good question. I think I must have been 16 when it like took the next step basically. I'd always sort of written tunes all the way through my teenage years. I didn't love secondary school, not gonna lie.
Oh, why?
I just had a bit of a rough time.
Yeah.
It just wasn't. Didn't like it. Was happy to leave early, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But that inspired a lot of music, which was good. I think I wrote tunes from probably about 14, 15.
Oh, really?
I mean, they might have been rubbish, but
like complete songs with music and everything.
Well, maybe not with music, like.
Or the lyrics.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Like write it on the guitar and then words and stuff. But I think it went to the next sort of level probably when I was about 16.
Oh, that's cool. How did that come about? What was that process like?
So when did I can't even remember what my first gig was, but basically it was quite convenient. My dad knew somebody, one of my dad's friends, who also plays on my records, which is nice. He was running a studio in Glasgow at that point, and I went in. I went into Chamber Studio, but no, I've gotten my timeline completely mixed up. Sorry, that was after. That was when I first started properly doing it. The first time I went into the studio, I was probably 16, and that was my dad's friend Jamie. That was his studio.
Yeah.
It was Graham, a producer. But the first time I properly started actually doing it, it was the studio in Glasgow, and I recorded some demos, and a wee indie label had said, right, okay, let's put a wee single, and that was the first single, and then I sort of did it myself.
Yeah.
From that point on. But,
so you've been kind of producing and
your
music yourself, or how involved are you in the process of?
the
production side of it.
Fairly involved. Again, my dad definitely has an ear for production, and his friend Jamie ran the studio in Edinburgh, and he was a producer as well. So it's usually just you know, a bit of a collaborative effort.
Yeah.
I'll just, you know, sit and listen to things and like, oh, that sounds good, or that doesn't.
But you're involved in that.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
not
totally.
Just,
yeah, absolutely. I'll sit on our mixes and we'll say, okay, that needs to go up or that needs to come down. And, yeah. So
that's
I wouldn't claim to be a producer.
Yeah.
But I'm certainly like, you're like
knowledgeable about,
that needs to change. Yeah.
What kind of, how would you describe your music?
Well, came up with a strapline for my website once. I could use that. It was psych, folk, fuzz, mando. So psychedelic folk with fuzz pedal on the mandolin.
Okay, all right.
A bit mad, yeah.
I'll have to I put like a little, I'll have to include a little snippet of a song or something at the end of this so people can get a better idea.
Yeah, it's alternative, kind of folk based, yeah.
Where do you kind of draw your inspiration from for the songs you write?
Usually miserable things. I don't think I've ever written
your earliest memories.
Yeah, well, exactly. I should write a song about that slide. And I was crying on the slide. But yeah, I think it's usually pretty miserable things. I think it's easier to get like pumped up about like something that's like annoyed you or like that you're miserable about or whatever. So I think actually in the last like year I've found it quite difficult to write music because I've been quite content actually. I mean, I've been concentrating on my degree and I wanted to, you know, get that done and in the bag, but also like nothing's really annoyed me for about a year. So
you'll have to have a dissertation song.
I'm already thinking about
to dissertation. Yeah, So how did you decide to study history? Did you ever think about just not going to uni and doing straight music?
Definitely thought about not doing university. Mm-hmm. That was definitely a consideration. I've never been able to study music because I don't have any theoretical knowledge.
It's a different beast different. Entirely, for sure.
And I don't think I would enjoy it. I think the minute something becomes a chore, it's like, nah, actually I don't want to do that. But no, history, I was one of those people that just loved it at school, I guess. And then I started working at the Fisheries Museum and I worked out that actually would be a really, I would love to do that in the future. And it just kind of went from there. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that it was going to be medieval history. Yeah. Obviously, it was going to, you know how it goes. That it was going to be that, you know.
Do you remember our first lecture? I forget who was, I want to say James Palmer or someone was doing the lecture. Yeah. And he said, medieval history is the best because ancient history, there's no evidence. Modern history, it's not even history, it's too recent. Medieval's the perfect sweet spot. Perfect. And I was just like, oh, okay.
Sounds good, yeah.
I believe it.
I'm going to go with
and I've stuck by that ever since. And I'm very gung-ho about how medieval's the best. I'm
totally. No. I get so angry. See, when people say things like, oh, that was so medieval, I'm just like, oh, God, please, no.
Oh, yeah. I correct that. Or in the Dark Ages. I'm like, that's actually, not a great term to use.
Did you know that periodization is just not even real? Yeah. I get
I'm great fun at parties. Yeah.
Equally boring.
What draws you to history? What's your favorite part about it? Why do you study it?
I think I like to understand why people did things. I guess that's part of the draw of history. But the storytelling element of history is a massive draw. And I think that's kind of why I ended up doing my dissertation on two very prominent figures, because I quite like that, the narrative and trying to work out who these people were.
The mystery element of it I love. I feel
completely
I remember in first year I didn't realize that you, which is sorry Anna if you ever listen, but I didn't realize that you argued in history or something like that. I'm like, history. I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Yeah, sure.
And I was like, I love the past, but I was like, that's what it is. It is the past. But there's so much more to it. There's no right answers, which I love. I love when there's no right answers.
No, I completely agree. I think it is a magical thing when you I feel like when you get history, I don't know, it kind of only came to me about halfway through third year.
Oh yeah, me too.
Like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is what you do. And you can actually, like, say things that you believe, and, like, people might not say
and,
it's
like,
wrong.
kind of piece together the evidence you have, and, like
Totally.
a puzzle, and just be like, oh my gosh, it all makes sense. Like, it's all here. And
Look,
yeah.
I've not seen this. I think that's kind of, like, I ended up obviously doing my dissertation on the early Middle Ages as well. And I had always thought it would be, like, later Middle Ages. But, no, I think I found that there was even more scope for, you know, suggesting things in the early Middle Ages.
I love that.
Quite comfortable.
The bigger the wiggle room, the
totally
better I'll do.
Yeah.
So.
My dissertation was on 4 sources. So
really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
There's a lot of wiggle room.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
What was I going to say? Oh, this is kind of like, I mean, it's St. Andrews related, but in what ways do you fit into St. Andrews, and what ways don't you?
Oof.
I guess I asked you that question.
I think I probably mostly don't fit into St. Andrews.
Yeah?
That sounds bad, though, because
No,
I have
not
met
necessarily.
people that I, like, you know, I love here. And I feel, well,
it's not necessarily about, it doesn't have to be, like, socially,
people,
like, either.
I think St. Andrews is, intellectually, I'd like to think I did fit in that, you know, it was nice. It's amazing to have, you know, discussions or whatever in tutorials, and you can bounce ideas off of people, and things go well. I don't know, like,
and be able to keep
gender,
up and
and
have, like, a really stimulating academic environment. I agree.
That was fantastic, that course. But so for that reason, yes, I feel like, you know, I'm in the right place to discuss what I want to discuss and stuff like that. But I guess, like, typical St. Andrews student, I am not, I guess.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. Like, I don't know.
Do you want to describe it? Yeah.
I guess, like, you know, well, I'm from the local area, which is quite unusual.
Yeah. Rarity number 1.
I've met, like, 2 Scottish students at St. Andrews. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just, you know.
Oh, maybe my roommate's Scottish. Maybe she comes over.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, a wild Scottish person.
Yeah, she's from the borders.
Oh my God.
Maybe she's been to the bar where you had your aha moment.
The life-changing
Maybe she
bar.
too decided to go to St. Andrews in that bar.
You should check out with it. You definitely should. So yeah, I guess not in that respect, like, having the local and student thing is a bit unusual. I don't know, I guess, like, well, I like the fact that, like, there's a liberal group of St. Andrews students, and they're quite niche, like, it's quite a small group, so I guess I fit into the outsiders in St. Andrews, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? Just not like I've never been to a ball in my whole life.
Really?
Yeah, not one. So
are you gonna go to grad ball?
Maybe, don't know. We'll see.
Oh, you gotta.
I know, it's terrible. But so I guess, like, I fit into the outsider crew in St. Andrews. Does that make any sense?
Is there anything does it bother you that you don't kind of, like,
not
feel like you fit in more, or no?
No, I really don't. That's really, well, I don't know, is
no,
that a bad thing?
No.
Don't
it's
know.
not a bad thing.
I guess I haven't, like, I don't feel like I've had, like, a traditional student experience in that sense. Like, I feel like I've
because of why?
Well, I don't live here.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't know, just, like, I just feel like I'm on a different, like, maybe a bit of a different sort of calendar or time
like
zone to people, or I don't know what it is, but I don't mind it, though. Like, I'm quite happy. I like being able to go home at the end of the day. And I'm just like, oh, I'm not in St. Andrews anymore.
And have, like, kind of a separate, like, school.
Yeah. It's been good. Yeah. I've enjoyed that.
That's good.
Yeah.
On the flip side, what do you cherish most about St. Andrews?
And the people, obviously, that I've met here. The discussions that have been had. I'm really going to miss, like, that part of it completely. Like, I mean, it's obviously not the, like, 600 pages of recommended reading per week sort of thing. That's not gonna. I'm not.
Or the fully French readings that you get.
With a little bit of German.
With, like, a little bit of German, and you're just like, I don't speak either of those languages.
Excuse me, sir. Can we maybe have a translation? No.
I don't think there is one.
Never. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So not gonna miss that. But definitely the whole thing. Yeah, I am gonna miss it. Yeah. Totally. Yeah.
How do you think your master's degree is going to differ? Or do you want to just talk about deciding to do a master's degree and what you're doing then and why.
Okay. So I've got a place on the Museum and Gallery Studies course. And it's weird. My time at St Andrews hasn't actually at all impacted that decision.
Oh, really?
That was
kind of always
like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So when it came to applying for it, it was like mindless almost. It was like, well, this is always what I was always going to do that.
What attracts you to that kind of work?
Well, I don't think I want to go into necessarily like curatorial stuff.
Okay.
I want to do like learning, access, education work.
Yeah, okay.
So I like the idea of getting people involved.
Yeah, and making it more palatable.
Totally. Yeah.
Because I remember, like, I was always one of those kids that loved museums, but there's so many that don't.
Yeah.
And they just can't engage. Yeah. They just can't engage with, like, blank walls and, like, few things. Like, I don't know. Totally. Or, large bodies of text. So it is...
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I think, like, well, when I was on that year out from school, with the Fisheries Museum, which is my local museum, I made a series with the assistant curator of like local studies workshops that the school kids came down and did. Oh,
that's great.
So that was my first sort of foray into it, and I was like,
yeah,
I like this.
Yeah.
This is what I want to do. I want to keep designing events and workshops and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's great.
So that's the plan.
Yeah.
Be nice.
Along those lines, what do you see for yourself in the future?
I'd like to be doing that. I'd like to be doing more music again.
Yeah.
I feel like I've kind of been stagnant for a little while, so definitely want to start releasing music again. And I'd like a dog.
Any particular breed?
Well, you see, I like corgis. Corgis are great.
They are. They really are. And the baby ones too.
They look like potatoes. It's great. It's fantastic. I do spend too much time on dog spotting, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's
dog
dangerous.
spotting, and then the dog spotting society
page.
Almost even better because people post their own dogs. And I'm like,
and they're doing funny things,
yes.
and you're like, this is a fantastic moment you've captured. No, totally.
That's like why I keep my Facebook alive. I'm like, I need dog spotting.
Well, this is it. I think basically my whole Facebook feed at this moment
is dog spotting. Yeah.
Like, people who are there. I don't need people friends.
Not as interesting.
So yeah, I mean, like a corgi would be nice, but rescue dog, I would take a rescue dog.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm like, oh yes, there are breeds that I find very cute, but sometimes it's just that like
rescue dog. Yeah, exactly.
The connection you get with the little dog.
I know.
Are you a cat person at all?
I like them both. Yeah. It's my cat's 20th birthday today.
Oh,
that's a fun story.
What's your cat's name?
Dinah. From Alice in Wonderland, Dinah. That was
happy birthday to your cat then.
Thank you on her behalf.
Wait, 20th birthday?
Her 20th birthday.
That's an old cat.
She is ancient.
Wow.
When I went home a couple of weekends ago, I could hear her meowing in the back garden. And she was just meowing at a wheelie bin. I was just like, oh, bless you.
I just love how
you're so old.
Animals just like us get senile. Like my dog did too. And it's just like he just went off his rock. He was like a grumpy old man. If he was like, if he was a human, he would be that grumpy old man who'd like snap at kids to get off his, like he just had none of it at the end. He was just like, oh no, I've lived my life. I deserve to make my own decisions here.
Completely. I remember seeing, again on Facebook, it's really bad, a photo of a cat like celebrating its 31st birthday, and it had like a little party hat on and a cake, and it just looked so pissed off.
I mean,
it's just like, I have done enough.
I've had 30 birthdays.
Like, I have had enough of this.
I can imagine myself doing the same thing. Or have you ever? It's the oldest woman alive or something. Every year they do a news story on her.
Yeah.
And like the most recent year, she just would not smile. And this reporter goes up and they're like, so like Edith, like how does it feel to be birthday? And she's like, I'd like to be left alone. I'm like, yeah, give her her space. She's like 106, I think.
Yeah, I think at that point I would just be like, pass me the whiskey and, I'll let nature take its course. Oh dear. So yeah, she's a bit senile as a cat, but she's lovely. She's deaf and senile, but fantastic.
Oh, well, happy birthday.
Oh goodness.
Changing gears a bit, but I kind of like my last set of questions. They're a bit more reflective, but what's your value system? What kind of like principles guide your life?
Ooh. I'm a big believer in social justice and stuff. So I like to, and animal rights. Like I'm a bit of a lefty, basically.
You're in good company,
yeah.
so.
So yeah, absolutely. I think just be a nice person.
Mm-hmm.
Look out for other people. I think that's a big
Yeah.
thing, and yeah. I mean, that says it all, really, doesn't it? It's just
it does.
a case of don't be greedy.
Yeah.
Don't just see yourself. Try and put yourself in a bigger picture, and yeah, that's how I would say I view the world. And
no, that's good.
Yeah,
I like that. Sometimes it's like, or I always try to think of my response. I'm like trying to create this elaborate thing. I'm like, it never. Like, it doesn't sound like the simplest thing. It's just like, be nice.
Just be good, and just look out for other folk.
Yeah.
I think that's.
I agree.
Yeah. You agree.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be bad if someone didn't really agree with being nice to people, but.
Yes, sure.
But I guess there's different points of view, so I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're
not here to judge.
Exactly. Another weird one, but what's the kind of the hardest thing you've had to overcome in your life or are still working on overcoming?
Ooh, that's a very good question. Oh, I don't know. That's really difficult. I think, well, for definitely my teenage years, I was a bit of a doormat, basically.
What does that mean?
Basically, I would let people walk all over me.
Oh, okay.
Basically, doormat.
That makes a lot of sense.
You can use that now.
Yeah.
I think I definitely have a habit of just going, I'll do that, or you know what I mean. So I get that from my mum.
Yeah.
Going right back to start. And I guess it's probably okay to, take a few for yourself sometimes, because I'm always just like here, there, and everywhere, and But I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing, but yeah, I need to relax more. I'm a bit highly strung. Well, not. That sounds bad as well.
No, I mean, it's like, I get it.
Yeah.
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 When it was like, how is like highly strung at like, oh my gosh, what's the word I'm looking for? How does it manifest in your life, I guess? That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah. I'm a massive perfectionist.
Mm-hmm.
Totally. Like, I will work on something every hour that God sends to get something done. Like, I'll always be a week ahead of deadlines, and
yes, you are.
Yeah, well, you know that.
I'm
you
always
know
like,
that.
Eilidh's already finished.
I guess that's how it manifests. Like, everything that I do or present outwards to other people has to be perfect.
Yeah.
And I think I could probably chill a little bit. So I worry about things like unnecessarily. Like last night, this is an example. Last night I was lying in bed. There was a fire alarm. It was like a smoke alarm going off in someone else's flat, and I could hear it. And I was going, "Oh my god! Right, okay, I'm going to grab my stereo first, and then I'm going to." Do you know what I mean? I was like working through which of my possessions I wanted out of the flat first.
Yeah.
And I was like, "You just need to chill.
Yeah.
You need to just take a moment and have a glass of wine." So
is that your chill tactic?
It helps.
Yeah.
A glass of wine and a record is like my ultimate like.
Oh, do you have a record player?
I do.
Oh, I think I knew that. I feel like you've Instagrammed before, and I've seen
I certainly have Instagrammed the record player before.
Where do you get your records from?
A mixture of like second-hand record shops and because the vinyl revival has happened, a lot of my favourite music is being re-released on vinyl now. So it's great. It is my like vice.
What is your favourite music?
The Beatles are my favourite band of all time. I love the Beatles.
I mean, yeah.
Who doesn't? Well, if I have a rule in life, actually. This is a good one, like a big overarching thing. Yeah. If someone says they don't like the Beatles, don't trust them.
That's very true, because it's like, why?
Yeah, exactly.
What is your reason?
Are you trying to be cool?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. And then you're like, red flag, no.
Yeah, exactly. So just avoid those people, I think, is a good rule.
Be nice and avoid
people who don't like the Beatles, or say they don't like the Beatles, because no one actually doesn't like the Beatles. But no, I like a lot of like 90s grunge and 80s like goth music.
Yeah.
And, it's quite eclectic, I guess.
Is it similar? Do you find it similar to your style of music at all, or do you play similar, like the music that you like?
Yeah.
Do you create music that you like to listen to?
I think I wouldn't say my music sounds like any of the people I listen to necessarily, but it is an amalgamation of everything I've ever heard.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
exactly.
So like there are certain things that like you'd have ideas and you're like, oh, that sounds a bit like that REM song or that. Do you know what I mean? So I guess it all is in there somewhere.
Do you find it hard to create kind of completely original melodies or sounds or?
It can be, that's for sure. The best ones are the ones that like come to you and then you're like, oh, that's it, that's perfect. And then it's like done, like you can write a tune in like half a day or something like that and that's it, perfect. The ones that you're like, it's difficult, you can't really force it.
Yeah.
Or something like that. It's like it has to just come to
can you even struggle through it? Like,
not really.
Or do you just kind of, obviously it's not working, ditch it?
Yeah, I definitely have, well, in the last year particularly, I have not forced it at all. If it's not there, it's not. Do you know what I mean? I've like done a couple of things, but yeah, I find like you either have something or you don't.
Do you feel pressure to have like constant creative thoughts?
Totally, yeah. Absolutely. I definitely do, because I think there was a time in my life it was like I was writing a new tune every like couple of days or something like that, and it's kind of that was certainly not that level of production. Was that
because you're, like you said, it comes from kind of misery-ish?
Yeah,
It just was like a particularly tough part in your life, and then it reflected that well. Have you ever written a happy song?
Well,
or like
I've written an upbeat song.
It's upbeat and it's about suicide. No.
Yeah, well, it's upbeat.
Oh, it might be. Oh, God.
No, it's not about suicide, don't worry. Nothing's quite that deep.
I was like, oh, shoot, I just
just put my
totally, made a joke about her actual music.
No, don't be silly. No, it's well, this actually it's relevant to the conversation about my childhood. Basically, I wrote this song called Rockpool Hospital, and as a child, I had a rock pool hospital on the beach, and I used to take what I thought were injured crabs and shrimps and put them in the hospital until they got better.
Oh, that's so sweet.
So the song is called Rockpool Hospital, but it's about like a failed relationship. But the metaphor for it is the Rockpool Hospital.
How does that like come in your head? That's so creative and just like beautiful. I
don't know.
What is your creative process? Do you just, like, I remember one time I had to write a poem for a class and I, like, dreamt it. And then in the morning I wrote it down. Amazing. And I was like, got it.
This
poem
is perfect.
Done. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, God. I mean, it depends. Like, I feel
do you sit down and write? Or is it more just like
well,
when something pops in your head?
I clearly remember with that one, I was in the car and I typed it on my phone.
Oh, really?
So, like, there are certain, moments where it comes and it doesn't.
Yeah.
So my most recent set of lyrics was in my car on a notebook just before I went and handed in my dissertation.
Oh,
like, do
that's
you know what I mean? Like, something came to me and I was like, oh, right, I have to get this down. So, like...
That's so cool.
It's more...
Have you ever lost an idea that you...
Oh, yeah, all the time. I had an idea for a riff, like, about, like, a week ago or something like that, and I have no idea what it was. Like, I can remember, like, one
tiny
little
bit of it,
teeny bit of it, and I was like, I'm not sure what that was. Maybe it'll come back to me.
What role does music play in your life, then?
Just a massive role. It's gotten me through my darkest moments. It's celebrated my happiest moments with me, and I have 100% got a song for every moment in my life, if that makes sense. Do you? Oh, yeah. Like, so... Like,
you could create an actual playlist of a soundtrack to your life.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I could, like, 100%, and I like to do things like that.
Yeah.
I'm the sort of morose person, I'm like, what would I have played at my funeral? Because it's such a massive part of, like...
I bet you'll, like, actually have a CD ready to play, and you're like... Play this when I die.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that is 100% something that I would do. I think it is like, I have, a song for all the major times, basically.
What would, a song for, put you on the spot now. What's a time we haven't really talked about? I guess like a 10-year-old. Eilidh, like that age.
10.
What's a song that would suit like your personality or something that was going on? Or
Well, I mean, I'm trying to think about what bands were really influencing my life at that point. I think that was when I had sort of started moving away from like my childhood, like, well, not moving away from it, I've always loved the Beatles and stuff like that, but like moving away from stuff I had listened to my childhood. I had been a big Busted fan, loved Busted for a long time. And I think by 10 I loved Green Day. I really blooming loved Green Day. So yeah, I have, again, a funny story, probably about 10-year-old Eilidh. My dad had gotten, I think it was a new amp or new speakers or something, and I had got an American Idiot for my birthday, and he was like, oh, bring down your new CD and we'll listen to it on the amp. And I was like, oh, there's loads of swearing in that, and I was thinking this in my head, and I was like, oh dear. And then he put it on and I turned it down when Billy Joe Armstrong
every time it was the swear word,
and my dad was like, what are you doing? This proves the uncool child of the cool parents.
What's your guilty pleasure music?
Oh, good. Right, okay. Oh my goodness, I don't know. What is my guilty pleasure music? Oh, I just don't know. That's really bad. Like, both me and my dad have agreed that the song Livin' La Vida Loca by Ricky Martin's great.
It's a great song.
Oh, Toxic by Britney Spears.
Oh,
great tune.
Why?
Don't know.
Just
like, it feels like that's like mainstream pop music, and I don't really like mainstream pop music. I'm trying to think if there are any good, really good pop tunes that I've heard recently. I'm not the sort of person who will like go, oh, you like pop music.
Yeah.
But like, I don't actively listen to the charts or whatever. So yeah, just a catchy tune. Like, yeah. Just
a fun catchy tune.
Yeah, absolutely. Any fun catchy
I always go to, I don't know if this is the actual name of the song, but Jitterbug, that's like one of my...
Great tune.
Just so catchy.
Yeah,
so
absolutely,
catchy.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, actually, guilty pleasure, I can go back a little bit. So like, something like pop punk, like Blink-182 or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
Like, something like that, I feel like...
Did you, like, or Arctic Monkeys, kind of like
a
vibe?
Would I say they were guilty pleasure?
Yeah, because they're not really poppy. They're just more, like,
mainstream.
Known.
Yeah. Blink-182 and Britney Spears. Toxic.
That's perfect.
Oh, my goodness.
I just have one more question, but if we can talk about anything after that. But,
okay.
It's a big one.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah,
but what's the biggest lesson you've learned from your life so far?
Okay. I mean, well... for fear of sounding super, super, super cliche.
It's alright.
I do actually genuinely think that like everything does totally happen for a reason, and it all totally works itself out. Like all of the, I think, major decisions in my life have been very snap.
Oh, and mine too. I was thinking about that. Yeah, like,
impulsive almost. Like, and for me as a person who likes to like plan things out 6 months in advance,
as someone who doesn't consider themselves an impulsive person.
Yes.
Some of my biggest decisions have been
last minute.
Very impulsive.
Yeah, exactly. So I think, like go with your gut feeling, I think is like ultimate. When do you find it hardest to do that? When it involves other people, I guess. Oh, like if it's gonna affect someone else's day, then it's difficult to go with your gut. Mm-hmm. But if it's just about me, then I always just, I have learned that now. Just whatever your gut is telling you, just do it. It's probably right. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Wonderful. That's all the questions I have. Is there anything, like, formative that we missed or that you want to talk about? I'm sure, we obviously didn't cover your entire life. My entire life in an hour. I don't know. I think, like... my teenage years, my miserable teenage years, like, they were probably the most formative, if that makes sense. So, like, my childhood was fantastic, happy, and then I had a really crap time. Yeah. And then I think that's where all my decisions from that point have stemmed back from almost, like... Was it, like, a single incident or just, like, prolonged...
like
pretty prolonged
crappiness.
nastiness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it like socially driven or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I always just like got my head down at school and did the best I could, and then I got out the door as soon as I could.
Yeah.
Basically. But yeah, I think like, yeah, I probably wouldn't have like had the balls to like do music or take like bigger risks like leaving school like a year earlier or whatever. I probably wouldn't have done that had I not had a really crap time. So I guess like I always relate everything back to that.
Do you look back on that time differently, or do you feel any differently about it now that you have some more perspective or some distance from it than, or is it still kind of the raw emotion of it?
It's not, well, no, it's not so much raw, but it has a lasting impact, I think, in that a lot of my decisions have been informed by it, if that makes sense. Well, directly after that, and where I've ended up has obviously been shaped by it. So I guess.
How do you think it's changed you most? Or in what way do you see kind of like the biggest change from tween or prepubescent
absolutely.
and then post-teenage years?
I think I can stand up for myself more.
Yeah.
Basically. I think I'm a more, just more open to tell people what I think, basically, which is not necessarily a bad thing, I guess.
Well, I don't think it's a bad thing
No, like just, if I've got a problem, I will tell you about it rather than internally, like, screaming.
Just having it eat your insides.
Yeah, exactly. I'll air it.
Yeah.
And discuss it. I'm more open to,
Yeah. How do you go about those discussions, like the ones you don't want to have?
Oh, I'll, like, mentally, like, torment myself for about an hour beforehand planning what I'm going to say. Yeah. And then that doesn't work because
it never goes to plan.
You can script it, it's never going to happen.
I always script them, and then it's just the first thing they say, I'm like, well, that doesn't follow my script.
What was the next line?
Exactly.
No, it doesn't happen. So, like, maybe what I should take from that is that just stop trying to plan everything. Yeah. Maybe I should go with the flow more. That's probably what I should do.
Your chillness.
Yeah, bring out the chill.
Yeah.
Maybe I should take up yoga.
Yeah.
Actually, I did try yoga once. It was terrible.
Oh,
like,
really?
I was really bad at it. Not that the yoga was terrible.
Yeah.
I was really bad at yoga. I can't switch my brain off for that long.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you're always just like, oh, well, I need to do that next. And
it's just one of those things that doesn't do it for me.
I can't get zen.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Always not zen.
Is that what, like, do you find your zen in music?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah. Music and a glass of wine with my sausage dog on my lap. Sounds perfect, doesn't
Sounds
it?
perfect.
That's my happy place. Oh, goodness.
Yeah, but that's kind of all. Yeah.
Yeah.
I never know how to end these.
Potted history.
Yes. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.